All right, Ryan, I think it's live.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll take us in. So, welcome to the BDSM podcast, Booze or Smoke&Meats. And I am Professor Porkloin. I'm hearing my lovely co-host crack open a beer. So,
Yes,
uh,
buddy.
it sounds like it's going to be a good day.
It's gonna try to be. Might be a short day, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, foodies, we are continuing our journey here across the states, and we are back out to the western side of the U.S. And we are going to be talking about Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
Nevada. Um, we were kind of looking beforehand, foodies, and we don't know how this one's going to work out because I think when being in the middle of the desert, you kind of have to have your stuff shipped into you from everywhere else. But let's we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Yep.
So what was that beer that you cracked open?
So this is the Platform Brewing Company Strawberry Cheesecake beer.
That sounds
Uh
pretty good.
it's supposed to, like I haven't been disappointed with Platform yet. So let's see what the initial sip tastes like. Yeah, that tastes like drinking strawberry cheesecake. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. But beforehand, I had I picked up a variety 12 pack of Malaysian beer. Have you ever had that beer before?
I have not. No.
So they had a Halloween one that was on sale, and I had their Punkachino, which is a coffee and pumpkin ale, and that was actually super good. So
Probably need to get off the shelves, right? Because it's already been a couple months. So
I'm okay with it. You know, they had some other ones too. They had like a regular pumpkin ale. They had a pumpkin stout, which I really liked, and then
yeah, pumpkin stouts are good.
they had an IPA as well. Um, and there was one that caught my eye while I was looking through here that I think you and I would both like, and it's called their Dragon's Tooth Stout, which is a imperial oatmeal stout with a whopping 8.1% ABV.
Yeah, that'll get you going.
That'll get the job done.
Yeah, have a few of
So,
those, and you'll be nice and tuned in.
mm-hmm. So, and I actually got to check the APV on this. Why don't you tell us what you got in your cup real quick while I look up the APV on the strawberry cheesecake.
Yeah, so I don't have anything special today. We had some people over last night, and I'm just drinking some leftover Yingling.
Mm.
It's nothing crazy, but it's always my go-to since that was what I basically grew up drinking. And when we get into the Pennsylvania, we'll certainly be able to talk a little bit more about that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nothing too crazy. What was that ABV over there?
It is a 5.8% ABV.
Some middle of the road.
Middle of the road, and I didn't realize this. It's actually a porter.
Okay.
So, and it's rich and creamy notes with strawberry cheesecake, coffee, and graham cracker crust is the notes on that. And I will tell you that is exactly kind of what I taste. Granted, I thought the coffee was from the previous beer that I had had. Can definitely taste it in this one too now that I know it's there.
Yeah.
So, um, are you ready to try and roll some sevens on this podcast?
Yeah, we're gonna try to hit that freaking jackpot, right?
Yeah. Which, speaking of, because I might have forgot already, the safe word we decided for today's episode is jackpot.
Yes.
So,
Because I mean, when you're thinking of Nevada, you're
yeah.
basically thinking of a desert and Reno and Las Vegas. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure there are other places in Nevada, and that, if anybody actually listening to this lives out that way or knows some other places, you could always give us a shout out and say, hey, you missed this place, but um, I'm pretty sure we're just going to be talking about the two big cities there.
Mm-hmm. So
So
there's been a Midwestern thing that's came up quite a bit. And it turns out that Nevada has its own version of this. Um, so we've talked about pierogies, right?
yeah, we've talked about that a few
Talked
times.
about the Byrock. We've talked about the Kalashi.
Okay, so what's the one
The no,
thing that apparently Nevadans do?
they call it the Runza, Runza.
The Runza.
Yep.
Okay,
So,
explain.
uh, it is a traditional cornhusker specialty. I guess Nevada being the cornhusk state. Runza got its start from German immigrants, both the native Germans and Germans who had lived in Russia and came to the American Midwest. Stuffed sandwich was inspired by the pierogi, but is instead made with yeasted bread dough instead of a dumpling.
Oh, all right.
And it's really just ground beef and cabbage stuffed in that bread. Made in Nebraskan home kitchens, and it didn't actually become super popular until after World War II, that it became a homemade specialty to fast food. And it looks like in Lincoln, uh, oh my God, that's Nebraska, not Nevada.
I was gonna say, man, the Cornhuskers doesn't sound like Nevada.
Motherfucker. That's going to be some editing. I pulled a tard. Nevada. Well, shit. They probably got a pierogi there too.
You know what? They have something that's a little bit close to that, and I actually saw this. So it's a Cornish pasty.
Okay.
Um,
Not
so
like the
when
kind the dancers wear.
yeah, not those nipple pasties. So essentially, this is going back to England. Back in that time, it was basically known as a meat pie,
Mm-hmm.
but also known as the pasty back then too. So when all these workers came out to that West and the whole entire gold rush stuff, right? Because they were looking into the mines, and essentially this was one of the things that all the workers brought in, and it's a mixture of potatoes, seasonings, meat in that pastry crust. So think of um, like not like a meat pie or whatever the hell the European version of that is, but almost you know what? It almost looks like an empanada.
Mm.
Did you ever
Okay.
see? You know what one of those is?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, you know how it's got everything crimped. So instead of it looking like that flat side like a normal empanada, it's actually just crimped all the way around. So it's a circle like pasty or pastry crust.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they wound up using that as their source of nourishment because for your long days that were spent in the mines, you could essentially keep it there and it's not going to go bad for that day.
Mm.
But they've done a lot of changes with some of them. Like, again, original is basically the meat and potatoes, but they've kind of taken a an Indian slash Spanish style twist to it, to where they start doing things like chicken curry or like chile verde, and have some sauces in it too. So you were kind of close with that, but just a couple states over.
Couple states over. That's my bad on that one.
Yeah. So some of the things that I saw in my little research here of what really to eat in Nevada has come down to things in Las Vegas or things in Reno.
Yeah.
And then maybe a couple small towns here and there, but there's so much going on in Vegas and Reno that I feel like that's where a lot of the people go anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And if have you been to Vegas before?
No.
It's super cool. I mean, there's plenty of things to do outside of gambling, but obviously, if you want to gamble, your heart's content as you walk up and down the strip. Every casino has stuff, but besides shows and different experiences that you can go through, one of the things that's the main stage of all of those gambling people, though, dude, is the buffets.
Yep.
And man, those things are a little pricey. I mean, you're looking, let's see, the one time I went to the Win, which is one of the higher end ones for a brunch buffet.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it included, mimosas and all that other stuff, but it was like 50 something bucks a pop. And that damn thing had everything you wanted on that buffet. If you wanted eggs Benedict, there was a chef that was making it. You want your homemade omelets, chef that was making it. They had waffles, sausage, bacon, crab legs, prime rib. I mean, it was just unbelievable on what type of foods this damn buffet was on. And again, all you can eat. So, you can fatten it up and basically stay hungry free for the rest of the day after eating all that stuff.
Yep.
So, what I've seen here is that, I mean, it's basically all of the buffets, even in Reno, that you can find. Here's crab legs all day long, or this buffet might have prime rib all day long, and it's just choosing which one you want to go to because it's stuff that you want to eat.
Yeah. And I will say, as somebody who has had many a brunch in their time, I will spend $50 on mimosas alone if they're not bottomless. So $50 for a brunch that includes mimosas, I'm for.
Yeah, you getting tanked.
Getting super like that's why I can't go to Nevada, dude. I will get tanked and just like end up on the back of a milk carton as a missing person.
No, a couple, oh, what was it? A couple months back, there was this video circulating around of this one couple, and they're basically in bathing suits. So they must have been at one of the casino like party pool, whatever thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude hella fucked up, and he fucking ate it right into this big ass bush, and his girl was trying to pick him up, and I mean she was hammered and she fell back, and the dude videoing is laughing at him, and obviously it looked like there was a problem because they were all drunk and they couldn't get anywhere. But that's kind of what I picture you
Oh
if you were
yeah.
to go to Vegas. You just get hella fucked up and then be the one in the back just stumbling into the bushes.
Yep. That's why I don't go. That's why I don't
Nah, you
go.
need to go at least once, man.
Nah, maybe one day.
Yeah, you need to check it out. I'll go with you because then it won't be that bad.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so the buffets is one of those things. Now you have eaten at an all you can eat buffet before, right?
Oh yes.
So you kind of know the whole entire get down of, all right, I'm gonna just stuff the shit out of my stomach here.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, dude. Like ideally what you do is you don't eat the day before, and then that way you get your money
Actually,
worth.
what you should do ideally is eat the day before to stretch your stomach out, and then go to bed, and then wake up just stupid hungry and just go to the buffet.
I suppose you're right. I suppose you're right.
Yeah. So, um, but man, you would probably enjoy some of those buffets out there. And again, I've been to a couple of them, and not all, but the Golden Nugget had a pretty good one. Let's see, the Win was there. Hard Rock had their own little thing. So, and man, some of them are stupid cheap too. Like the more fancier ones, like the Win and whatnot, are going to cost you $50 or whatever, but they have
Yeah.
everything. But if you go to like the crappy, shit, what the hell is like El Dorado or something that's downtown in Old Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
you can get yourself an all you can eat buffet with crab legs for like $10.
Oh God.
And I mean, it's going to be the same quality as the other stuff, but
Yeah.
you just know that, all right, it's basically what I'm going to eat for $10 and just go ham on it.
Hmm.
So again, besides the gambling, which you can even get some of that stuff comped too, which I feel like there's a lot of reasons why people do the buffets or why they go to the restaurants because they get comped from the, thousands of dollars that they spend in the casinos anyway,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the casino kind of got their money. It only cost them maybe $20 to serve them this $80 steak that will just comp, but you just gave us 12 grand in the last 2 days. So,
Right. Yeah.
but yeah, all you can eat buffets. Oh, they're everywhere.
I do love me an all you can eat buffet. I
Now,
really
the one
do.
thing that I feel like is super cool about Vegas is that they have, uh, the open container law.
Yep.
And in fact, it wasn't until I think like 2018 or 2019 is when they actually finally passed the law about having an open container in your car.
Oh,
You used to be able to drive down the strip and have like a beer can in your cup holder and it would be fine. It wouldn't be a DUI, but I think they finally cracked down on that one. But you can still walk it up and down the strip, like go to the convenience store, pick up a Coors Light or any type of beer. They'll open it for you, and then you can just go right out onto the strip and start drinking.
well, shit.
So to kind of get around to the story of what I was thinking of is that one of the cool things that some of these Vegas, Reno, strip style places have is they've got these big ass yard um, slushy machines, and it's like, oh man, it might be 15 or 20 bucks. It's been a hot minute since I was in Vegas last, and you can get those things that are 3 yards that basically stand up all the way as high as you, and you can fill it with whatever drink you want. So you can do a mixture of like, hey, I'm gonna do pina colada, strawberry daiquiri, and blue raspberry, and then they pour whatever vodka or whatever drink you want. You can walk up and down the strip with that straw in your hand and just drink that bad boy.
Yeah.
And
I
and
would
then
go missing in Las Vegas.
and then I think they give you a discount because you've already bought the cup,
Yeah.
so it's cheaper the second time around.
That's kind of like I picked up a bunch of mead, right? And I bought it in growlers, like
Yeah.
64-ounce growlers. And they're like, "Hey, keep the growler and then the next time you come up it's like $8 off your a refill." And I was like, "I love this place. Get like 64 ounces of high quality booze for like 30 bucks."
Yeah, and they'll sit there and be like, "We just got ourselves another customer."
Yeah, they did. They they did. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been back like 3 or 4 times. Uh, so I was able to pull up some like fringe things, and I found foods that Nevadians crave after they leave Nevada.
Okay.
And one I never expected. It's frozen hot chocolate.
Really?
Yeah, apparently it's super popular in Nevada. And I looked up just to see if there was anything special to this. And it's really just a cup of crushed ice, cup of milk, and then you take the one envelope of the instant hot chocolate mix, stir it together, and you have yourself a frozen hot chocolate.
I wonder if it's because it's always so damn hot that you don't want to
Maybe,
have the damn hot chocolate, so let's put it on ice.
which is possible.
Because I mean, it is the desert, and sometimes it does get a little chilly. I was a couple years ago, it wound up snowing in Vegas for the first time in like 100 years,
Hmm.
some crap like that.
Yeah.
But okay, so frozen hot chocolate. What's another one?
Apparently, onion rings or onions in all forms, because over 3,000 acres of Nevada's land is dedicated to growing onions, making Nevada one of the top onion producers in the nations. And so, pretty much every appetizer or onion rings are served as an appetizer in pretty much every Nevadian restaurant. And apparently, once you move out in Nevada, they're not that common. But I've always found them pretty common, so I don't know why they're missing onion rings. Like, I have no problem finding onion rings.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, maybe there's certain states that don't like onion rings, and I don't know what's wrong with them. The other
Hmm.
one I found is saffron cake.
All right.
which is apparently a food staple of Nevada that was introduced by the pioneers of the 19th century. And it's just one of the desserts that stuck around. And because of like, when you go to like a Chinese buffet and
Yeah.
you have all of the little desserts that you can grab, like the little
Yep.
tiny ones. I have a feeling that's why they like the saffron cake so much, is because of all you can eat buffets that have this as an option for like a dessert. So, and then two other weird things that I found. Thai food is apparently super popular in Nevada.
Okay.
Um, I guess Lotus of Siam is one of the top rated Thai restaurants in the entire country, which is located in Las Vegas. And apparently, like with again all of the all you can eat buffets and stuff like that, Thai food is not as abundant outside of Nevada. Sorry.
Edit that shit out too, huh?
No, I'm keeping that one in. I might just keep the other one in too. And then the last one that kind of threw me for a whim, especially because I get this at least once a month or so, is steak and eggs. And the reason
That's
it's so missed in Nevada is because of all of the buffets being open all the time, meaning that if you wanted steak and eggs at 3 a.m., you could have it. And like I've been to that point in my life where I want steak and eggs at 3 a.m.
oh hell yeah.
So like I can sympathize with this one a little bit. So
So to go off of your Thai food, there's a place that is down by Circus,
okay.
and it's this Korean barbecue joint, which I don't know if you've ever had Korean barbecue before, but
Mm-hmm.
that shit is dope. Where they have the grill in the middle of the table, and you can cook all your own stuff.
Yep.
So the man, that is some good stuff. If anybody's going to Las Vegas, definitely check that one out. Um, man, they had a lunch special where it was an all you can eat, and they just kept on bringing out all the meats, and you just cook that bad boy up and just sit there and chow down on it, and you get stupid full. And then they got kimchi and shit, the rice wine. I forget what the hell that's called, but you get ripped at that one too. And then one of the other more iconic things I remember going to is also the Pepper Mill, which is not too far down from that Korean barbecue joint. And again, I think it's close to the Circus as well, but it has some pretty damn good breakfast items. And it almost reminds me of walking into like an old school, like not 50s diner, but maybe like 60s diner, because it's got all the cool shit on the walls and the big circular booths and whatnot. And
Mm-hmm.
then they have shit like a 10 egg omelet,
Oh God.
or like massive pancakes that just cover the whole entire damn plate.
Ooh.
So I mean, everything in Vegas is kind of expensive anyway, so it's a little pricey to go, but totally worth it. And you can get these big ass mimosas and cocktails, and then what they do is they have a photographer come around and they take a picture of you in your booth with your whole party, and you
Hmm.
can go out and buy those pictures as well. So that's also kind of an additive thing. Um, so Vegas has some pretty cool like stops that you can go check out on.
You know what I do miss and I wish was more common is the old like 50s, 60s diner look. You don't see that near as much for as iconic of a look that is.
Yeah, that has the old school like um, the diner bar,
Yep.
right? That you can walk right up and got those little red and white seats.
Yep.
I'm
You got
sure you could probably find a diner somewhere where you're at that looks close to that, though, isn't it?
that's still open? Probably not. I mean, like, you've got the one. that you and I used to go to, but like that's the only one that comes to my mind.
Yeah, but that one doesn't remind me super of like a 50s diner.
Right, like I'm talking the kind of diner that you have like the old school Cadillac on the roof. You know what I mean?
The Airstream just sitting there.
Yeah, yeah, like that style. Like
Yeah, that's
like uh like classy Applebee's.
oh God.
You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah, I know. I get it.
So,
Um, I know there was one experience that I did the one time I was out there, and it was super cool to do that one. But did you ever go to the eat your food in the dark?
I've been to medieval times and that's about as close to eating the food in the dark as I can imagine.
Oh no, this thing is like pitch black. Like you can't see a damn thing in front of you
Well, why would I do that?
because you're supposed to eat with your senses other than your eyes. You know how like the plate comes out and you're like, oh man, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can't see anything, you're going, okay, I can smell that. I can taste it. I can touch it with my fingers because it's a lot of finger food. And they don't tell you what it is though. So you're sitting there and you're going, shit, this tastes like a sweet potato. 100% this is a sweet potato. And then you look at the menu afterwards because they give you, once when you go out and pay, they tell you what the menu is, and you're like, "Fuck, that was carrots with some freaking cinnamon on it."
Oh,
But yeah, you can't see a damn thing. Like the waiters and waitresses have night vision goggles on, and they'll be able to see everything. But the most you can see is like part of an exit sign that's saying, "Hey, if there's a fire, you just follow this thing." But other than that, you actually have to hold hands to get in and then hold hands to get out. And I find that to be pretty funny though,
dude,
because you know damn well that that wait staff is looking at these people like pick their nose and like do shit
yeah,
like that.
man, as somebody who's worn knots before, I gotta give it to the fucking waiters because that shit's like walking in a 2D picture and like you have zero depth perception. I would trip over everything. Like, tip them waiters, all right? Like, instead of 20%, do 30% for that tip, you know?
Yeah, but that was a pretty cool experience. I'll remember that one for sure.
Yeah.
So Vegas, Nevada, you got a couple cool things, couple cool experiences to go do see. Um, I didn't really see a whole lot of other things besides the stuff that we've kind of already talked about with
Yeah,
like, hey, you get some ribeyes, you got some eggs Benedict, you got some other things that other states are doing just as well.
right. Except, in Nevada, you could essentially win the jackpot, pick up a prostitute, and then take her out for an all you can eat buffet and be perfectly legal. So
True. I mean, you can kind of do that anywhere. Just no one's gonna know that you're doing the hooker, right? As long as you're a little, secretive about that.
why would you want to be? You're in Nevada.
I mean, if you just hit the
Just
jackpot, you should be secretive about that anyway,
nah,
because you don't
bro.
want
Like
people to
I
know.
will just be like, I paid for this.
She is mine.
Mine for the next 45 minutes.
What are you gonna do with the rest of the 44 minutes and 30 seconds?
Cuddle.
So tell me, how was your job? And start talking.
Yeah. So, no, I'll probably spend the next 44 minutes taking a nap and getting robbed. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
it's
You wake up
Nevada,
with no more jackpot.
right? No more jackpot. So, but yeah, I think that's going to cover it for Nevada.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of short for this one, guys, but I just don't think that this was gonna be the best episode because of what they have.
Yeah. I might actually have to leave the mishap in just so I can pad time because
Yeah, do it.
otherwise YouTube will just hate us.
Yeah, just do it. Just keep it in.
All
It'll be
right.
funny to the listeners. They'll look
Yeah.
at it and go, "Oh man, he did a dumb
I,
move."
well, like the thing was, is I had four tabs open that said Nevada, and then the one tab said Nebraska, and I didn't catch it. So that's my bad.
Well, I know that we're going to be getting closer and closer to some of the states that will probably have two parts or two parters, maybe even three, depending.
Yep.
Because I know Texas is coming up, Ohio's coming up, Pennsylvania's coming up, New Jersey. Like, I think we'll be able to talk a little bit more about those.
Actually, no. I just had a tearing moment. Let me
I mean, we're
YouTube.
recording, so I know that you got that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Doo-doo. Okay, yeah, we're good. Never mind. I thought there was another state that was before Nevada.
No,
No. Yeah, so we're good. We're
but
good.
I think the next one's New Jersey, right?
I keep forgetting that's an actual state.
Yeah, you're not missing much, right?
Yeah. Maybe we can have our friend special guest on that one.
Excuse me. I can send him a message if he wants to see if he can join.
Yeah, do it.
So okay, cool.
So,
Well, foodies, I guess this is the end for Nevada, and sorry it's a little short, but it is what it is sometimes.
yep. Sorry, Nevada,
Yeah, you might be one of the worst states, even though you're one of the coolest states.
which happens, you know.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Mhm. All right. Well, foodies, I have been the Meat Viking, followed with my wonderful co-host.
Professor Porkloin.
Y'all have a great night.
Yep, and see
Later.
us in the next one.